KCTV 5 News Saturday morning starts now.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. So glad you're joining us. I'm Joe Chiodo here in for Kelly on this Saturday. Let's get you over to Alina Lee tracking that forecast, starting off at least to be a beautiful one. I hope we can hold on to that sunshine that's out there.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. I think we're going to see a lot of sunshine today compared to previous days when we've been hung under these overcast skies. But right now we're looking live with our KB Complete City Cam from Briarcliff, showing you a mainly sunny view, while there are some high cirrus clouds overhead, giving us what it may appear as a mostly cloudy view, but those clouds thin enough that they should be able to obviously not affect our temperatures. West to southwest wind right now up to 8 miles per hour. Dew point still around 59 degrees. The air temperature 63. I think we'll see those dew points climb, as well as our high temperatures, obviously, this afternoon. Our satellite and radar pictures just been showing you those high clouds down to our south. I think we'll see a mixture of that throughout the morning, possibly becoming mainly sunny by the afternoon. 64 right now in Harrisonville, 63 in Warrensburg, Sedalia at 66. 62 degrees right now in Maryville. And for your day planner, we've got low to mid 70s already by 10 o'clock and even 11 a.m. by the afternoon today. High temperatures soaring near 84 degrees under a partly to mostly sunny sky. Now we might see a stray sprinkle, an isolated shower late this evening, but better chances of rain return before the weekend is over. We'll go hour by hour with the latest update on Forecast Track when you can expect those showers to return in just minutes. Joe?
All right, starting off this Memorial Day weekend on a good note. Thank you, Alina. And on this day, 1 year ago, an EF3 tornado went through Jefferson City. That happened yesterday, but then today people were picking up the pieces. Most of the buildings were occupied by businesses now. The homes there were built in the early 1800s. They can be expensive to own and time-consuming to renovate. Yesterday, a caravan was held to honor the heroes who responded to that tornado. People say there's a lot of heart and history in that area, so it's worth getting it back to where it was. Right now, we want to talk about the coronavirus. That is not the only epidemic our area is dealing with. Stay-at-home restrictions didn't slow the pace of our violent crime in our area down at all. That trend also continues this morning. Police are looking for 2 to 3 people who shot a 16-year-old in Independence yesterday. They are expected to survive. Police are looking for a blue or gray SUV, possibly a Nissan Pathfinder. KCTV5 investigative reporter Angie Riccono has a closer look at the disturbing uptick of violence here in our area.
Shutdown orders are ending, and cities across the nation are now comparing notes. Some saw a decrease in crime, but that was not the case in Kansas City.
I'm still asking myself why. Why him? Why anybody? It's uncalled for.
2 months later, questions linger for the family of Baron Shelton. He was found murdered inside a building at Cloverleaf Apartments.
Homicide detectives are collecting evidence, trying to figure out what happened to a man found dead in an apartment building.
His death briefly made the news. At that time, much of the focus was on coronavirus and sweeping shutdowns.
I don't understand people taking lives for things. I don't understand people taking lives, period.
This is the family's first interview, 2 full months after his funeral. The point is, murders faded from Kansas City's consciousness for a time, even though they still happened. Many people were left with this perception.
Crime had gone way down or was almost non-existent.
Sergeant Jake Bikina says that's just not reality. KCPD keeps track of crimes across all categories. And when the city shut down, violent crime raged on. It didn't surprise detectives.
The vast majority of them are arguments and narcotics transactions or drug trade related, way more than 50% historically.
Those two variables, arguments and drugs, did not fade during stay-at-home orders. Here's what happened across the nation, according to the Police Executive Research Forum. They evaluated 30 communities. Kansas City was not on the list. 18 saw decreases in violent crime. 12 saw increases. Specifically, San Francisco's crime rate dropped 33%. It was a 25% drop in New York. But crime jumped 21% in Denver and 12% in Houston. If you just look at homicide numbers, it was a mixed bag. 9 departments saw an increase, 9 saw a decrease, and 12 reported no change. Kansas City also crunched the numbers. They just used some different dates. But the bottom line is things like robbery and stealing. Those were down, and so were overall police calls. But violent crime was up. KCPD used the following dates, March 24th to May 11th. They looked at last year and then this year. Last year, there were 112 assaults. This year, 182. Non-fatal shootings are up as well, from 66 to 84. Homicides increased from 17 to 22. Here's another way to look at it. In that same time period, coronavirus killed 16 people in Kansas City, but violence killed 22. It was deadlier than corona.
You're out here shooting people, killing people. We got to do better. We got to do better.
Rosalind Temple is with Mothers in Charge. She supports grieving families at crime scenes. She spent her quarantine working homicides from the phone.
You know, I did the best I could, and I would always tell them, if you want to cry, you can call me back. I have much time to listen to you cry. I do not mind holding the phone and listen to you to cry.
It's very hard.
Temple connected us with Barron's family, still grieving, still in pain.
It is unreal to me to see the violence that is taking place in this city, my home, and across the world.
We need to value people's lives. We really need to value people's lives because, we're dying from corona now, and that's enough.
Police departments are now looking ahead. They're concerned about rising unemployment and that could lead to desperation and more tensions, affecting things like domestic violence and child abuse. In Kansas City, Angie Racono, KCTV5 News.
This morning, we are getting a better idea of just how many people are sick and don't even know it. The CDC estimating that 35% of coronavirus cases don't result in any symptoms at all, but they're still contagious. So we're talking about hundreds of thousands of people here. Another 40% of sick people spread the virus before experiencing any symptom. And just yesterday, one of the area's first COVID patients finally got to go home. That's what you're looking at right here. Craig Hilbrand spent the last 10 weeks in the hospital. Some of his physicians and nurses were worried that he'd never make it to this point of returning to his home and loved ones. His condition quickly deteriorated. He ended up being put on a ventilator for 29 days and spent more than a month in rehab.
We are so happy for him. It's been a long time coming. There were a couple of bumps in the road that we thought he was going to leave and then he couldn't. And so this is just for all of us and for him, this is just the best day of the whole entire year.
Well, there you go. Doctors did originally think that Craig had pneumonia because nobody else in his family was sick and he hadn't traveled anywhere. He still has no idea how he became infected. Movie night, it just is not the same without your favorite snacks, right? Well, today you have another chance to take part in a theater experience right from your home. It is the return of curbside popcorn at B&B theater locations. Here's a look at what's for sale. All the money goes towards insurance premiums for the theater's furloughed workers. So you can pick up popcorn, that movie theater kind of popcorn that is the best kind, if I have to say, between 2 and 6 p.m. Place an order by opening your KCTV5 News app, and then you click on Found It on 5, and you can just follow the link. The Independence Farmers Market, it is reopening today, but you'll have to stay in your car instead of the traditional in-person interaction. You'll be driving through to see the vendors, and it is open until 3 o'clock. All vendors will be wearing face masks as well.
We can enjoy this beautiful weather. It's springtime, and we can get out, we can golf, we can cycle, walk. All these things we can do. You'll get out to a park, walking trail, whatever you can find.
Summertime is certainly here in Aging in Style this morning. We're going to tell you what doctors say you should be doing besides washing your hands. It feels like summer out there today, Alina.
Absolutely, Joe. It is going to be a little bit warmer and even more humid. So we'll be talking about feels like temperatures slightly warmer than the actual air temperature reported. And we're going to see a small chance of rain tonight into tomorrow. Better chances for showers and thunderstorms as our active weather pattern kicks back in before the weekend is over. I'll show you just how much rain we're expecting in just minutes.
You're watching KCTV5 News Saturday morning. Closed captioning brought to you by St. Luke's Hospital Kuhn Center for Advanced Breast Cancer, the intersection of innovation and hope.
Two of the greatest athletes in the world are competing on our new show, Game On. Face some trivia questions.
Can't wait.
And one-of-a-kind challenges.
But
nothing too dangerous.
Like human darts and danger sit-ups.
Okay, that literally has the word danger in it.
You won't want to miss it. Come and get it. Elite Athletes, Epic Challenges. Game on. Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on CBS.
Clogged gutters cause damage to your home. Our experienced consultants look for and identify your gutter problems before they become expensive. Advantage Gutter Guard's patented design keeps out leaves, debris, and handles heavy rain. Professionally installed on new or existing gutters with a lifetime clog-free guarantee. Call for a free, no-hassle evaluation, in person, video chat, or even over the phone. Gutter Cover Kansas City. We've got you covered.
We did it, folks. We built the only off-road course in the Midwest. Hi, Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram at the Legends Auto Mall. Wow, what a great time to buy. All month long, Victory is running employee pricing combined with 0% on select models. Like this new 2020 Grand Cherokee for only $495 per month. Or a new Renegade for $349 per month. Plus, no payments for 120 days. Come drive the open course today. We're located just east of Nebraska Furniture Mart, where our first price is better than their last.
Welcome back to KCTV5 News this Saturday morning. Right now, a live look of downtown Kansas City. You can see a little bit of cloud cover way in the distance, but those are some high, thin cirrus clouds far away, far south, that is. And we can show you that on our satellite and radar picture. Let me just pull that up for you right now if I can get my computer to work. There they are. You can see them kind of very thin, and I anticipate those clouds to continue to thin out and reveal more sunshine by the afternoon. So finally, we can expect more sun than clouds for several hours today. The latest on Live Power Doppler shows you not much, but a clean sweep of the radar. So not tracking any developments out there right now, but there may be one or two sprinkles you'll encounter late this afternoon into the evening hours. 63 already in Kansas City and downtown, 65 degrees in Raytown. Tonganoxie coming in at 62 degrees, and our backyard forecast has great weather to be spending outside, especially because I know it is Memorial Day weekend, may not be your typical Memorial Day weekend, but you can still get out and enjoy the sunshine and warmer air that we have in store for your forecast today. 76 degrees by noon, 80 for the high today. Some areas may get stuck in the upper 70s depending on how far north you live. Still going to be seasonable there. In low 80s by 7 p.m. Only a stray shower possible. Better chances of rain return tomorrow, and even several rounds or chances of rain each and every day for our 7-day forecast. We'll go over which day of the week, though, has the highest chances coming up a little bit later. Joe?
All right, Alina, thank you so much. And right now it is 8:10 on your Saturday morning. Hey, we are hearing a lot about the importance of isolation, masks, and hand washing as well. But there may be one other protective measure that you can take to stay healthy. KCTV5's Carolyn Long gives us a scientific reason to get moving in today's Aging in Style.
One of the things I always hear from clients is, I don't have time to work out. Well, that's obviously not an excuse anymore.
Eric Burtz is the owner of Flex Personal Training and frankly has become frustrated by being told lately all the things we cannot do. He says if you look at what you can do, walk, golf, cycle, the payoff can be amazing.
Especially the higher risk people, older, heart condition, diabetics. You know, when we tell them to stay home, they're going to sit and become more sedentary.
Bert says that's the worst thing you can do for your health.
What can I do to help myself? Help myself be healthier, maybe make myself even stronger, get my immunity up so I'm not as susceptible to disease.
And he walks the walk, or should I say, rides the ride. When the coronavirus shutdown began, Bert's decided to focus more on his own cardiovascular health. He took up cycling. It's all about getting your heart beating, your blood pumping.
As we become sedentary, there are things in our blood, hemoglobin, which carry oxygen to all of our muscles. It starts reducing. You know, the old thing, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Here's the best news. Once you begin to use it again, your cardiovascular system reacts almost immediately.
If we take a sedentary person and have them exercise, walk on a treadmill, get their heart rate up for about 45 minutes to an hour, they can see out of one bout of exercise, they can see a 7% increase in their hemoglobin levels.
To attain that pulmonary efficiency, you don't even have to do that full hour in one swoop. Luckily, it's cumulative.
If you can't do an hour at a time, you can do 2 half-hour sessions or 10-minute sessions, 6 of them, and it'll all add up and have the same health benefit to your heart.
The key, though, is to push yourself a bit. Get to the point where you can talk, but can't tell a long story.
Walk, or run or ride your bike, whatever it is, but I want you to only be able to speak in 2- and 3-word sentences. So we have to catch our breath. And we can talk, but if you're carrying on an entire conversation, we need to step it up.
Let's go. Carolyn Long, KCTV 5 News.
All right, and for more information on this segment, you can go to our website, kctv5.com. Just click Aging in Style. Your time right now is 8:13 here on your Saturday morning. It is the most important election of our lifetime, and the results may be delayed for days. Big changes coming to election night traditions. But first, KCTV5 stands for you. We are strong in our commitment as KC works to come back from the pandemic. We're featuring a job of the day from our Job Connection platform. And today's listing is for Kansas City Public Schools. They're hiring school security department employees. They're seeking qualified first-line supervisors, site-based security officers, and patrol officers. For more information, click the Jobs tab at kctv5.com.
You're watching KCTV5 News Saturday morning. Your 7-day weather forecast is sponsored by Security Bank of Kansas City.
Vacation at home sale at Family Leisure. Pools, patio, spas, and more. Shop your way. No contact delivery and installation available. Vacation at home sale going on now at Family Leisure.
When it comes to your home's basement, crawl space, or foundation, trust the experts. Call Foundation Recovery Systems today to schedule a free inspection and restore the place you call home.
Meteorites are fun! Children are like meteorites, hurtling through space. They crash into things everywhere they go. So what do we do with our delicate items during these not-so-delicate years? Whoa! Well, those are my little meteorites.
Public storage is clean, close, and ready now with limited contact precautions. First month's rent is just $1. Save up to 30% after that. To find a unit near you, text MOP to 250250.
Finding the perfect mattress is about finding the most comfort at Nebraska Furniture Mart. Now get the perfect combination for comfort, a new mattress and free adjustable base. During the Memorial Holiday Sale, get a free adjustable base with qualifying mattresses, an up to $799 value. Plus, qualifying mattresses are up to 55% off suggested retail. Get a free adjustable base with a Sealy Posturepedic mattress, plus 60-month financing available. Find your perfect mattress at Nebraska Furniture Mart. We're open Memorial Day.
Bad driving habits like jackrabbit starts, sudden stops, or rapid or erratic acceleration. They certainly don't make a lot of sense here, or back at your car, where they can affect your fuel efficiency and add to air pollution. So, drive smart and breathe easy.
When it comes to your home's basement, crawl space, or foundation, trust the experts. Call Foundation Recovery Systems today to schedule a free inspection and restore the place you call home.
KCTV5 CityCam is sponsored by KB Complete.
Welcome back, everybody. Right now it is coming up on 8:17 here on your Saturday morning, kicking off your Memorial Day weekend. Lots of people have plans, Alina, maybe definitely grilling outside, some people hitting the lakes. So what are we up to today weather-wise?
I think you're going to be fine if you want to be outside for a pretty long time today, since we're expecting mostly sunny skies and warmer temperatures. Great weather to be maybe lounging by a pool or a lake if that's your thing today. And you can see from pretty much almost all of our views here with our KB Complete CityCam network, a mostly sunny sky, but obviously if you look farther south, especially from this view, from Briarcliff, you can see it looks mostly cloudy just from that view, as there are some high cirrus clouds farther south of us. Our satellite radar picture will show you that, but I do want to go through our dog walking forecast first, as today's dog walking forecast features Fred. By the way, if you look very closely, there's another dog behind him, and that's his best friend, Roxy. Says Mimi says that they love to hang out and they follow each other around, and that's obviously the case here in this photo. couldn't let him take a photo by himself. All right, temperatures today in the middle 80s, maybe even low 80s in some spots, or even upper 70s. Just depends on where you live. 78 today in Maryville, 83 for Harrisonville, low to mid 80s along and south of I-70. We'll have winds from the west to southwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour, so at least the breeze won't be too annoying if you want to be outside. All right, next we've got live power Doppler up to show you a clean sweep of our radar. Not going to be tracking much of anything today. If you notice a sprinkle, that's all we'll get. It won't intensify. It'll be brief and probably won't amount to much. Now, our Storm Track 5 forecast track stopping here at 3 p.m. to give you an idea of what the sky conditions look like. And again, mostly sunny. Then partly cloudy overnight into tomorrow. I think we'll see a little bit of cloud cover around. Then those clouds continuously increase as a warm front lifts through the area and produces a few showers and maybe even a few thunderstorms by Sunday afternoon. I think those chances really ramp up, though, late in the evening, closer to about 9 p.m. Showers, a few storms likely. And we'll be talking about the chance or the risk of severe weather with one or two of those thunderstorms. They could produce damaging wind or large hail. I think large hail will be the primary threat. A few brief gusts not out of the question. Our Security Bank 7-day forecast, 84 today, back in the 80s again Sunday, so back-to-back days, pretty warm and a little muggy with scattered showers possible Sunday. We've got Memorial Day for Monday and a better chance of rain, but you'll notice the weather alerts up because of one or two of those stronger storms developing in the afternoon. 78 degrees by Monday. Then we generally stay in the 70s as a front stalls across the area. This will lead to numerous chances for showers and thunderstorms, and we can show you that very well here. However, the chances of rain finally go down by mid to late next week. So I don't think any individual day, other than maybe Monday or Tuesday, that'll be a complete washout. Joe?
All right, good information, Alina. Thank you so much. And right now, the Treasury Department and the IRS are releasing an updated list of how much states were impacted when those stimulus checks were first released. Kansas had more than 1.3 million payouts, totaling more than $2.3 billion. Missouri had more than 2.9 million payouts, totaling more than $5.1 billion. It is an election night tradition, watching the vote totals come in and then waiting for a winner. This year, you might be able to go to bed early, though. It could be days before some contests are even called, including the one for the White House. Many states are expanding mail-in voting, and there's been a big increase in the amount of voters requesting mail-in ballots. That has the potential to delay calling a close race. Now, one of the things that we have learned during this pandemic is that many people who are overweight or obese are more likely to die from COVID-19. KCTV5's Brad Stevens reports on a new local program through HCA Midwest Health, making a real difference for people who have struggled to lose weight and then keep it off.
As we now know, weight plays a significant factor with people who have COVID-19. A recent study with patients under 65 who had poor outcomes or died because of COVID showed more than 90% of those patients were overweight or obese and had other problems like diabetes or hypertension.
The obesity rate in the United States is at 40% now, and it's continuing to increase. Most people are unaware that this is an epidemic, and it's a much larger problem than almost any other disease state that we have.
That's why Dr. Freilich, a weight loss specialist, is so optimistic about a new telehealth-based weight loss program that helps lower the risk of chronic conditions found in many COVID-19 patients.
This program allows us to actually focus on everybody as a whole. We're looking at them as a composite, and we're then able to approach their underlying issues as to why they've been unsuccessful in losing weight in the past, but most importantly, what it takes to keep the weight off.
Dr. Freilich says this program works because patients interact virtually with dietitians, exercise experts, psychologists, and weight loss specialists.
I had a young woman who was really wanting to get into her mother's wedding dress for her own wedding. And over the last year, she's been able to lose 80 pounds, and she got into her mom's dress and called me up to tell me how incredibly happy she was.
Shedding pounds with this telehealth-based weight loss program is the objective, but the real goal here is to keep that weight off long term.
I think this is an ideal opportunity to try to get people healthier, not only to prevent them from having complications of COVID, but also just to have the complications of obesity and having a lifelong of health.
Brad Stevens, KCTV5 News.
Memorial Day, it's just 2 days away, and in Lee Summit, people are making sure their sacrifice is not forgotten. A holiday tradition continues in this age of social distancing.
You're watching KCTV5 News Saturday morning.
If it drips, leaks, or clogs, KB Complete can fix it. For a limited time, mention this ad and get $50 off any plumbing service repair.
Call us today, and we're on the way.
Remember, the plumbing job isn't complete until it's KB Complete.
When times are tough, you turn to the people you trust. For more than 100 years, Central Bank has weathered many a storm, and through it all, shown what it means to be a true community bank. Our people are working right now to keep your money moving, to keep your businesses strong, to keep our communities strong. Central Bank has been named a Forbes magazine top 100 bank for 12 years in a row. When we say strong roots, we mean it. Central Bank. Strong roots. Endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
As jobs get cut, as plates go empty, as beds disappear, we are there, thanks to your generosity, today and always. Please consider giving what you can at salarmymocan.org.
It's time to get outside, to play, to cook and eat, to maintain, and to relax. Nebraska Furniture Mart is ready to help with grills, patio furniture, fire pits, mowers, and more. Save the tax on all patio furniture by an amount equal to the sales tax at the store. Get a free gas can with qualifying lawnmower purchases. Shop with convenient delivery or use contact-free drive-through pickup with 30-month financing available at Nebraska Furniture Mart. Showroom now open, plus special Memorial Day hours.
Lazy Boy has reopened near you, and you can save on the comforts of home during our Memorial Day sale. Recliners starting from just $349, plus 30% off everything else. So shop comfortably and save at Lazy Boy. Live life comfortably.
If it drips, leaks, or clogs, KB Complete can fix it. For a limited time, mention this ad and get $50 off any plumbing service repair.
Call us today, and we're on the way.
Remember, the plumbing job isn't complete until it's KB Complete.
Welcome back, everyone. Glad you're joining us here on this Saturday morning. And, of course, it is Memorial Day weekend, and many Americans have no idea what is even being commemorated. The University of Phoenix asked 2,000 people about this holiday. 28% confused it with Veterans Day, which honors all military members for their service. Now, only 43% gave the correct answer. Memorial Day honors servicemen and women who have died while serving their country. KCTV5's Emily Rittman shows us this morning how they're being remembered in the age of social distancing.
This Memorial Day will be different here at the Lee Summit Historical Cemetery. There will be no crowds or honor guard due to large gathering restrictions, but one tradition will go on. It takes time to set up 145 large American flags to create the avenue of flags that surround the Lee Summit Historical Cemetery each Memorial Day.
These flags are all flags that's been donated by the families of veterans, and these were the flags that their loved ones were buried under.
If you're going down 291 highway and you see those flags, it makes you feel good.
The commander of the Jack Gray Post 5789 VFW, Jerry Youngblood, also put out a call for help to place hundreds of smaller U.S. flags near each veteran's grave to honor their sacrifice.
I think they deserve a lot of respect.
8-year-old Mason Krupa, his family, and many others answered that call.
If their families come out to the cemetery, I think it's just nice. So, like, if we place a flag, then the family also knows that other people care about them.
Social distancing requirements canceled plans to hold a Memorial Day ceremony and an all-veterans breakfast.
They're proud of what they've done for our country, and so it's really tough.
They fought through anything. It didn't matter what it was. We're here to tell them that we're going to honor them regardless.
You may remember this time last year, strong winds damaged flags and flagpoles at this cemetery. Thanks to generous donations, they were able to repair, replace, and raise these flags for this Memorial Day. Reporting from Lee Summit, Emily Rittman, KCTV5 News.
All right, a great message to keep in mind this Memorial Day weekend. Straight ahead in the next half hour of KCTV5 News this morning, new organ donation rules are putting patients at risk right here in our area. See how these surgeries are giving more than just a second chance at life and why they're so important.
And it's going to feel more like summer across the area, at least early summer, that is, with increasing heat and humidity today. Temperatures topping out in the middle 80s and staying in the 60s overnight. We'll go over how long or how many days we should see the 80s coming up.
You're watching KCTV5 News Saturday morning.
Kid from Shawnee wrote in and said, OMG, you guys rock. Thanks so much. My team movers were awesome, super careful, and polite. Thank you for everything. OMG, we think you rock, Kia.
Never fear moving day again.
Challenges have a way of providing clarity. They show us what's most important, give us strength. Challenges turn us into problem solvers. When we can't sit face to face, we still meet face to face. And when it's not business as usual, we still take care of business. Challenges connect us to one another. They give us the will to help and the courage to take action. Whatever your challenge, we're here.
Spending time at home has made it clear to many that your home needs more Oh Yeah. Furniture Mall of Kansas is now providing Oh Yeah fuel to help make it fun and easy. Fuel number 1, 0 down 60-month financing. Fuel number 2, free reward card loaded with cash equal to 6-month payments. Fuel number 3, free masks and cookies. Start fueling up your Oh Yeah today.
Oh yeah. Have some free time? PRA Health Sciences is seeking healthy, non-smoking men and women age 18 and older to participate in a study of an investigational medication. Volunteers must be available for 2 stays of 2 nights each. Qualified participants may receive compensation up to $2,050 for time and travel, including $50 for screening. Call PRA today at 913-210-5900 or visit us on the web at prastudies.com/Lenexa.
Hi, Don Collins here at Metcalf Auto Plaza. We're still doing business, but by appointment only. If you need a car, truck, van, or SUV, call or go online to start the approval process.
Log on to MetcalfAutoplaza.com and start saving for as low as 99 cents down.
Buy here, pay your payments. Great service after the sale. Down payment still starting as low as 99 cents. Metcalf Auto Plaza at 77th and Metcalf, Kansas City's premier buy here, pay here dealership. We're here for you, Kansas City. Stay safe.
Marissa from Overland Park wrote in and said, amazing experience, 5 stars all the way, extremely professional and fast. Communication is top notch. Would highly recommend for any move. We definitely will use these guys again. Thank you, Marissa.
Never fear moving day again.
KCTV 5 News Saturday morning starts now.
All right, everybody. Happy Saturday to you. So glad you're joining us here on KCTV 5 News this morning. I'm Joe Chiodo, in for Kelly today. Happy to be here and happy to be with Alina Lee here in the studio, who is tracking a beautiful forecast to kick off our Memorial Day weekend. I hope, I'm crossing my fingers, we can hold on to this all weekend long.
I think we can hold on to warmer temperatures and maybe slightly more muggy outside, but expecting a little bit of rain, not a complete washout any day the next 2, but we are going to be tracking increasing rain chances over the next 7 days. Our KB Complete City Cam showing you a look from downtown Kansas City. It is mainly sunny right overhead, but farther south, that's where it's probably mostly cloudy. 63 degrees in KCI. Dew points still in the upper 50s. I anticipate those numbers to go up closer to 70 by the afternoon. Here's the latest on our satellite and radar picture. You can see those clouds kind of streaming in from the south and pushing northeastward. Expect to see that mixture of sun and clouds throughout the rest of today. All right, 63 in St. Joseph, 64 in Atchison and Ottawa, Garnett 64 degrees there, and Butler just at 67. By the afternoon, we'll have plenty of sunshine around. It'll be warmer and just a tad bit more muggy with 84 degrees for your high. Slight chance of rain this evening into the overnight hours. Temperatures holding steady in the upper 60s. We get into the 80s again tomorrow, but I do believe we have better chances for showers and storms just as we enter into the beginning of the upcoming work week. I'll go hour by hour on the latest update on Forecast Track in just minutes.
What happened in the Kansas legislature yesterday was simply indefensible from start to finish.
Kansas Governor Laura Kelly sharing sharp words about the actions of her colleagues. The Republican-controlled Senate voted to limit her emergency powers. Now, the GOP has been critical of Governor Kelly's response to the pandemic, calling her safety regulations too far-reaching and her plan to reopen too slow.
And Main Street, Kansas was closed. Not only was it closed, it was suffering financially. People were going bankrupt. And they didn't understand what her meaning of essential was.
The bill passed by the Senate extends Governor Kelly's emergency declaration until May 31st, but any future declaration will need to be approved by 3/4 of the State Finance Committee. It also gives lawmakers oversight on how the state spends $1.25 billion in CARES Act funding. Yesterday, Governor Kelly criticized the move as self-serving.
In the weeks leading up to Sunny Die, lobbyists and a small number of Republican legislative leaders crafted a series of self-serving and, frankly, dangerous pieces of legislation behind closed doors and in the offices of special interest groups.
And the bill is now in the House for consideration. New numbers this morning showing how the coronavirus is impacting workers both in Kansas and Missouri. The unemployment rate reached 11.2% in April in Kansas. Missouri's unemployment rate more than doubled to 9.7%. Both are below the national average of 14.7%. The rules for transplants here in our area have changed. I've been listening to warnings from surgeons for over a year now. Organs donated locally aren't staying local as often. Instead, they're saving lives up to 500 miles away in cities and states with low donation rates. The University of Kansas Hospital says transplants are down 50% since regional sharing started. That means people around here are waiting a lot longer for a life-saving donation. This morning, we are showing you the importance of organ donation, not just to save a life, but also to remember the one that's been lost.
This didn't have to happen, and it wasn't supposed to, but it did.
On June 10th, 2018, Amanda Reynolds' life changed forever.
Whenever I got there, and they said it was his brain.
Her husband, David, was shot and killed in a road rage incident on the side of I-249 in Joplin. In that moment, she lost the love of her life, and 4 girls lost their dad.
He wasn't perfect. He definitely had flaws, but being a father was something that he shined in. It was what God created him for.
Their youngest daughter at the time was just 2.
She won't know the type of man he was. She won't know how much he loved her.
Next month marks 2 years since David's murder. When he passed, his organs were given to several people. A year later, Amanda learned who they were.
And they were all older men.
Fitting, she thought, for the young 27-year-old who had a soft spot for those who are older in his heart.
He loved to listen to their stories, and that's who he would surround himself with.
Which is why she has a feeling David would love this story.
Sweetheart, there's my girl.
The story of how, in his death, she and another David became the best of friends.
And at that time, I did not know that it would be you, but God definitely knew what he was doing when he gave it.
Yes, he did.
This David is 69, but one could say he's much younger at heart.
I'm proud to carry that heart. I'm proud to carry this family.
When David Reynolds took his last breath, he gave David Shell, who goes by Spider, another shot at life. A transplant here at the University of Kansas Hospital.
Watching him get 10, 15 more years of life, that is pretty magical.
This is only the second time Amanda and Spider have met.
It's nice to feel his heart. It's good to feel that on yourself again. Because that's what I did, laying in the hospital, was just listening over and over again because I knew I wasn't going to feel it anymore.
After surgeries, recipients aren't told whose organ they've received, but Spider and his wife Chris had to know. They wrote a letter.
What did these 4 people go through to get me to this position?
Amanda read it and had one thought.
This guy, he's my favorite.
She wrote them back, explaining her David and this David had a lot more in common than just a heart.
David liked to hunt. David liked to fish. That's what I did when I was younger. And I loved to play softball when I was younger. He loved to play softball and he coached softball. I coached softball, I thought. And so it's kind of overwhelming. But I always said the man upstairs knew what he was doing.
And finally, they found out exactly how David died.
My heart just went out to him, you know, knowing that some of the little girls saw this happen.
Girls. How's the girls? How are you, sweetheart? He does look like David.
She does.
For both families, it's proof. In our darkest times, sometimes a stranger will help us survive.
Every time that one of my kids is going to walk across the stage, he's still there. Like, every time that they're going to get walked down the aisle or go to a father-daughter dance or have a baby, he's still there.
And when it comes to letters, Amanda says there's one more she still has to write.
And I'm still working on forgiveness.
Addressed to the man who, on the side of I-249 in Joplin, stole her husband's life.
And I've wrote so many letters, but I've thrown them all away because I'm not there yet. But I'm trying every day.
A big thanks to both families for sharing their story with me. Now, this story was filmed before coronavirus hit. As you noticed, there was no social distancing there. But that does bring us to our next point. There will be less stories like this one in the future regarding organ donation here in the Midwest. That's because the organ allocation program continues to limit transplants in our area, especially for liver transplants. Doctors at University of Kansas Health expressed concern that this issue, organ donations in general, is not getting enough attention due to everyone's focus being solely on coronavirus. While they certainly understand, they say it is a concern. We'll keep you updated if any changes are made to that program. Right now it is 8:39 here on your Saturday morning. Many Americans will venture out of their homes this Memorial Day weekend after many weeks of sheltering in place. Even though far fewer people are expected to travel this year, officials are urging them not to let their guard down. In the Black Hills of South Dakota, Mount Rushmore is opening today about 3 weeks earlier than planned. Sunbathing is still off limits at Los Angeles County's reopened beaches, but officials are easing restrictions on bike paths. New York City's Coney Island Beach and Boardwalk will be open, but swimming, that's not allowed.
If you want to go back to those things we love, you cannot let your guard down.
And to pave the way for socially distanced pedestrians, 13 more miles of city streets will be closed to cars this holiday weekend. Meanwhile, the White House ordering all flags to be at half-staff for coronavirus victims and those who died serving our country. New this morning, the car rental service Hertz is filing for bankruptcy. They're the latest company to file since the pandemic began. The company has been renting cars since 1918, more than 100 years. By filing, it intends to stay in business while restructuring its debts. A U.S. official says an American was on board the plane that crashed in Pakistan yesterday. The airline's CEO says 99 passengers and crew members were on board. At least 76 bodies have been recovered from this wreckage right here. Investigators have not released any details about the now missing American. A State Department official says they are working with their staff in Pakistan to monitor that situation. 8:40 right now. As we start the Memorial Day weekend, it also means the start of summer. And with summer comes chores for kids. All right, still ahead on Better Homes. We'll introduce you to a new friend that can maybe help a lending hand around the house for anyone's chores. Alina?
Perfect.
Right.
It's definitely going to be nice to be outside, maybe do some outdoor activity, chores, perhaps. However, today and tomorrow, you'll notice the chances for rain increase, but they peak on Monday, and then they continue to drop off through midweek. We'll go over if they continuously drop through the second half of the work week as well in your full Storm Track 5 forecast in just minutes.
You're watching KCTV5 News Saturday morning. Let's face it, we've been through a lot. Things are different. That's why you have our promise to make sense of what's happening right now and what's to come, to keep your family safe, investigating the issues, providing answers, helping you face the new challenges affecting your livelihood. And since the weather can change quickly, you can also depend on accurate Storm Track 5 forecasts to help you plan for the days ahead. This is our promise every night at 10. KCTV5 News stands for you.
Kathy from Lenexa wrote in and said, our electrician was professional, efficient, and kind. He was patient, even with 3 babies running around in the middle of a family reunion. He was able to fix multiple problems on short notice. Thanks, Kathy. That sure was fun.
When you have a plumbing problem, we know it's important that your plumber shows up quickly and on time. But this is something you never want to see from your plumber. With Dick Ray Master Plumber, there are no buts. We show up on time, quickly diagnose the problem, and fix it without breaking the bank. Dick Ray always has $99 monthly specials. This month, get a sewer camera inspection, mainline clog clearing, or a precision tune-up. Go to DickRayMasterPlumber.com to make an appointment for no ifs, ands, or especially no buts for all your plumbing needs.
Michael from Lee Summit wrote in and said super great service. They were nothing but professional. Would recommend them for any heating needs. The tech was very informative and answered all the questions he could. Thank you so much, MVP. Thank you, Michael.
Call MVP now and get 15% off.
Welcome back to KCTV5 News this Saturday morning, 8:42 right now, and it is beautiful across the area finally, and just in time for this weekend as skies remain partly to mostly sunny across the immediate metro. Farther south you live, it might be overcast. At least that's what it might look like, but I don't think that'll be the case all day long. In fact, even farther north, you can see that spinning area of low pressure, so there's clouds farther north of us as well, but just in the heart of the metro and north of I-70, you might notice a little more sunshine just in that little section right there. That storm system was out to the west a little bit earlier and did produce a couple of showers and storms late last evening. Now drying out and going to stay pretty dry for the remainder of today. So if you have any ideas of going outside, maybe doing a picnic or spending it in your backyard, I think you'll be able to do that today without having to worry or look at your phone app and see when's that rain going to return, because I think it's going to hold off for most of today. 63 in Kansas City, Gladstone 65 in Liberty, Kearney at 64. Hey, one of those activities might be grilling, and I think it'll be pretty nice to break out the grill today. Plenty of sunshine by noontime, 76 by then, 82 by 3, then low 80s as we head through 6 p.m. While there is a slight chance of rain, it's going to be a slight chance of maybe a sprinkle. So again, nothing to really worry about today, just looking at those increasing chances tomorrow into the week. Joe?
All right, thank you, Alina. If you could use an extra hand with household chores, raise your hand right here. I should raise both hands. If you're like most of us, you will appreciate what we're about to show you in this week's Better Homes Report. KCTV5's Kelly Taylor giving us a look at these robots. Yes, you heard that right, robots that can help with chores around your house and even keep you company along the way.
Personal robots are one step closer to reality. The Walker robot from UB Tech is designed to be a butler. Enjoy your food. Thank you. In the past, robots struggled to manipulate objects. This one has improved technology, which allows it to take the cap off a bottle, pour a drink, and hand it over. If you're hungry, the Samsung ChefBot is here. These robotic arms can slice and dice, prepare a meal, and even make you coffee.
It's still very early days to see where this is going to take us.
CNET's Lexi Shavati says it may be a while before you get your hands on these type of robots, but robotics that combine man and machine are currently in use. The Guardian XO allows workers to lift heavy items with ease. Shavati got to experience it herself, lifting 30 pounds with ease, but it can handle much more.
200 pounds could feel like only 10 pounds when you're lifting it. It's actually about reducing strain or injury, about people that are working in factories or at high-risk jobs.
This rolling device is part of a new trend in companion robots. The Bali has a camera and artificial intelligence to interact with its owner. It can give you reminders, record moments, and even play with the dog. And if you want something to cuddle with, you can try the Love It or Love Robot. It has artificial intelligence that can recognize your face and will come to you when called. Sensors throughout the body respond to touch with a cooing sound. And this little sidekick will be available in the U.S. next year, but it isn't cheap. They're currently sold in Paris and cost about $5,000. Kelly Taylor, KCTV5 News.
Convenient or creepy? I don't know. I thought it looked like a Teletubby. It's 8:45 right now. Could college football kick off on time? New hope for fans hoping to see their favorite teams take the field in September. We'll talk about that next in sports. Plus, how one artist becomes closer to her ally after he gets severely hurt and then needed full-time care. This week's movie review with Trey Hoop is next.
You're watching KCTV5 News Saturday morning. Stormtrack 5 Live Power Doppler, keeping you safe in severe weather.
This is a giant eyesore.
All you have to do is point.
Nice!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK and we'll be at your house within 90 minutes.
We come at your convenience.
When you want junk to disappear, all you have to do is point.
Welcome to Job Connection. SPX Cooling Technologies in Olathe is hiring first, second, and third shift manufacturing associates. Competitive pay and benefits included. Apply at spxcooling.com/careers. KC Public Schools Security Department is seeking qualified first-line supervisors, site-based security officers, and patrol officers. Good pay and excellent benefits, including health insurance, retirement plan, and pension. Apply at kcpublicschools.org/careers. Look for Job Connection at kctv5.com.
Harassed at work? #MeToo. We've recovered millions for our clients.
No fee until we win your case.
No settlement, no fee.
If you don't get paid, we don't get paid.
The truth is, all injury lawyers are paid the same way, a percentage of your settlement. But some lawyers take close to 40%, costing you thousands of dollars. Edelman & Thompson's low percentage fee means you keep more of what's yours. Serving Kansas City for over 25 years with quality representation for a fair fee. Edelman & Thompson.
Remember to keep social distancing. Stay at least 6 feet away from one another. A friendly safety reminder, because KCTV5 News stands for you.
This is a giant eyesore.
All you have to do is point.
Nice!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK and we'll be at your house within 90 minutes.
We come at your convenience.
When you want junk to disappear, all you have to do is point.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Saturday, of course, and we are tracking a great forecast to kick off the Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
Lots of sun on my way in. It just changes your mood, Alina.
I know. It certainly puts a lot of smiles on people's
Yes.
faces to finally see the sun, and I'm glad that it's happening on a weekend and not well into the week when most folks are typically busy. Our KB Complete City Cam network's just showing you all different points of view from downtown Kansas City. Even this one from the Sprint Center. You can see a partly sunny sky there. It looks mostly sunny, though, just overhead of downtown Kansas City. Our dog walk forecast, yet again, this one is showing you Fred. I love when dogs have human names like Frank or Fred or Bob. I think those are the greatest names for dogs because you'd be like, hey, Frank, or hey, Fred, come over here. All right, high temperatures in the low 80s today under a mixture of sun and clouds. By the way, if you have a picture of a cat for the Catterday forecast, this is the first time in a really long time that I think about it. I haven't actually had a photo of a cat to use today. I'd love to use a photo, so please send that to me right now, and I'll do my best to get that in the weather hit the next time we come around. Hey, mid-80s today along and south of I-70, upper 70s to low 80s the farther north. West to southwest wind again up between 5 and 10 miles per hour. So we've got a couple of things going on. A system down to our south producing plenty of rain. That has kept cloud cover pretty thick down towards southeastern Kansas and southwestern Missouri. Just along and slightly north of I-70, we've got more sunshine. But even farther north you live, there's a low pressure system that continuously spinning and producing clouds just in the extreme northern portion of Missouri, closer to the Iowa state line. Live power Doppler, though, not tracking rain right now. There may be a brief shower, very light one, or a stray sprinkle this afternoon and evening. I think the better chances, though, still holding off until tomorrow. You'll see on forecast track 1 or 2 specks of green here. And then as we get through the overnight hours, mainly dry, stray shower again, possible, but not likely. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., starting out dry again. For majority of the first half of Sunday, look dry as well. It's not until we get deep into the afternoon that we see a chance for maybe a few rounds of showers and thunderstorms. They'll be mainly scattered across the area, so obviously you can see here, not really widespread. But any thunderstorms that develop tomorrow, some of them will have the potential of becoming strong, maybe on the severe side. The Storm Prediction Center actually has northeastern Kansas and northwestern Missouri under that slight risk for severe storms. Primary threat will be large hail. We can't rule out maybe 1 or 2 brief wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Forecasting rainfall totals as well, so you can see here that we could see maybe some measurable rainfall depending on where those thunderstorms line up. And you'll notice by Monday, we could see over an inch of rainfall in some locations. And that's because we're expecting numerous showers and storms, especially early on Monday. They'll be in waves off and on from Monday afternoon into your Tuesday. So weather alert up. We'll be watching for the potential of maybe some flash flooding as we continue with this active weather pattern through the remainder of the week. All right, here's this weekend's movie review from Trey Hawk.
When I close the door, I start to paint. That's my universe.
Hi, I'm Trey Hawk, film critic for KCTV5, and this week we're going to be looking at a new release, a documentary from Neon Pictures, and it's called The Painter and the Thief. This film focuses in on painter Barbara Kisilkova when she has an exhibition in Norway. Two of her paintings, incredibly large format, highly detailed paintings, are stolen out of the gallery. What she decides to do when prosecution is brought against an individual for the theft of the paintings is actually befriend this person. Though the film tries to put a lot of emphasis on the mystery of the theft and the discovery of the paintings that had been stolen, I think the real power in this film comes from the friendship that is developed between the artist and the thief. That's what's really fascinating. The artist herself, a person who has been a survivor of abuse and trauma, befriends this individual who struggles with addiction and abuse and trauma of his own. And the friendship that they develop over the course of the documentary is really pretty astounding and very hopeful. I hope you'll check out this documentary. Though it is flawed, it's not a perfect film. It does on the whole present a powerful picture of the possibilities that come out of compassion and friendship between two disparate individuals. For KCTV5, this is Trey Hawk. Thank you.
Well, good morning. I'm Breland Moore, and earlier this week, the NFL started their process of reopening club facilities. But right now, the Chiefs continuing to do things virtually still, and surprisingly have made the most of it. Now, they're all still continuing with those spring plans, meetings, things like that. But head coach Andy Reid did say that this virtual system does have some drawbacks. While they're able to continue working on their install, timing of routes and break points and some of those fundamentals, they've all kind of had to fall by the wayside a bit. And there is also a concern that injuries could increase the more time players are away from the field.
You know, if you talk to medical people, that you understand that injuries can go up if you're not working change of direction or being tugged on, like a running back would be tackled. He's got to pull through a tackle. That it has a tendency to up injuries. We saw that a little bit with the lockout here with Achilles tendons and that. So those things end up being important. But from a pure football standpoint, you know, it's your timing, your breaks.
Well, the NCAA is also taking steps towards a return. The Division I Council ruled that Division I student athletes in all sports may participate in voluntary athletics starting June 1st. Now, while June 1st is the earliest date, the SEC voted to return their athletes to campus June 8th, and the Big 12 decided June 15th would be their start date. Now, the NCAA ruling specifically states that mandatory activities will still be prohibited for all football and basketball programs until at least June 30th. All of our local college football programs slated to open their 2020 seasons on September 5th. And while the NCAA is taking steps to return to play, one of its high-profile coaches has announced his COVID-19 diagnosis. NBA Hall of Famer Knicks legend and Georgetown men's basketball coach Patrick Ewing shared on Twitter that he has tested positive for the virus. Now, the school announced that he has been the only member so far of their basketball program to test positive, and that Ewing is under care and isolated in a hospital. That's a look at sports today. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Breland, thank you. The great holiday getaway is likely to be more of a trickle lately, as airlines saw their busiest day since March on Thursday, but they were still down on that busiest day 88% from last year. Big dive they're taking. Despite the lowest gas prices in 17 years, a Harris poll found that 9% said because of the pandemic, Memorial Day was way too soon to travel. And cities like South Lake Tahoe, California, are asking visitors to stay away.
We really want people to enjoy their Memorial Day weekend at their home, where they live, with their families, not in Tahoe this time.
For the first time in 20 years, AAA did not offer its Memorial Day travel forecast, but it expects fewer people to hit the road than the record low of 31 million during the Great Recession. AAA says to do your homework before traveling. The runway at KCI, check this out right here. Look at your screen. It is packed with planes, but only a few of them are flying. In April, boardings were down 95%, total traffic falling to 40% for the year. And that number will only get worse before it gets better. Right now, more than 100 planes are parked at KCI as airlines cut back on flights. And straight ahead here in our next half hour of KCTV5 News this morning on your Saturday, shutting down KC helped slow the spread of the virus, but it didn't create a drop in crime. We will break down the latest numbers in a few minutes right here.
You're watching KCTV5 News Saturday morning.
Furniture Deals Memorial Day sale is going on now. Let's celebrate with red, white, and bold savings, plus 48 months, no interest financing. Refresh, recreate, and renew your home. Furniture Deals, where you'll always find great-looking furniture at great-looking prices.
KB Complete has an offer you can't pass up. For a limited time, get a 10-year parts and labor warranty and 0% for 60 months on qualifying root equipment. Fast, reliable, and fair. From the KB Complete family to yours.
Call us today, and we're on the way.
Plus, bring any comparable competitor's quote, and KB Complete will match or beat it. But call now for a 10-year parts and labor warranty plus 0% for 60 months. Remember, the job isn't complete until it's KB Complete.
Ford is built